Hey folks, Ariel over here. Today we are cleaning out the chicken barn, mucking it out if you want to call it that, except it's not mucky, for the first time in almost 14 months. This has not been touched since the day we built it and they moved in. I probably wouldn't have to be cleaning it right now either, except it's really, the main problem is that it's gotten so dusty over time, and headed into winter here, I wanted to have that a little less so. So this is just a wood floor. This was pressure treated plywood we built this out of. Velcro's curious about what I'm doing in here with this clean out door open. This clean out door is thanks to a very excellent suggestion from my friend Moose when he came over one day while we were building this. It'd be great to have a muck out door, otherwise we'd have to be carrying this out behind the camera there through the feed room, and you can see why we call her Velcro. This is working great. The wheelbarrow doesn't quite fit under there, but the that nice little sled does. All this stuff is going to go down in the garden, be part of my fall fertilization and soil maintenance program for the garden. Hey, you can't claw me, sweetheart. Yeah, you can sit there with no claws. And so what's in here is, had one bale of straw left from something when we built this. So there was one bale of straw in here, a bag of pine shavings. I got a bag of hemp stalk shavings. They're supposed to be really moisture absorbent, keep things very dry, because I was concerned about that through the winter. I didn't need to be, clearly. And the rest of this is chicken poop and feathers. So this, it's bone dry. It's very dusty. Part of that's our climate. We have a very, very dry climate. Part of it's that our chickens are small. Icelandics are a small breed, so they eat little food and they make little poops. Part of it is that they are outside a lot of the day. They're not really in the winter. They, were in and out of their yard, but they didn't like to venture much in the winter. But the floor stayed totally, totally dry. It's pretty deep litter. I was thinking that this would make a deep litter that would, your claws are a little much, sweetheart. I was thinking it was going to make a deep litter that would, kind of slowly break down and actually generate some heat as it did so, but it stayed so dry that really isn't happening. And so I'm going to clean all this out. Probably my least favorite thing that I had in here was the straw. The straw bits just stuck worse to our boots when we track more in the house. They stick more to the eggs when they lay an egg, and it's a little bit wet when they first lay it. So we're going with all wood shavings this time around, plus straw's not very easily accessed in our area because there's not a lot of grain crops growing that produce straw here, mostly hay. So we're going to get this all cleaned out, and this is our annual muck out of the barn. Somebody had asked me a while ago how much work it was to maintain this and keep it clean and clean it out. I didn't have an answer then because I'd never cleaned it yet. So this is the first time, but it looks to me like it's going to take me longer to explain to you guys what I'm doing than it does to actually clean the whole barn out. wonderful, wonderful fertilizer. All the, material between wood shavings, straw, hemp stalks, and then all the rich chicken poops, and of course feathers are super nutritious. This is why people buy feather meal to put in gardens as a soil amendment. And a lot of this is more than a year old. Some of it is fresher than that. And it is going to go in the garden under a layer of liquid and solid compost, and then sit till next spring, so it should have plenty of time to finish doing any breaking down that it needs to do by then. And I am really happy with how well this floor is held up. It was, when we built it, most concerned about moisture. And you can see from this, 14 months later, I'm most concerned about dust. But there has never been any smell in here. You open the door, it doesn't smell like a stinky chicken barn. There's no ammonia-y smell or anything like that. That's been awesome. This nesting box setup has worked out really well. You can see you can just lift it up and pull it away from the wall if you need to clean behind it. But the hens have overall seemed to really like that. A couple times this summer we've found some hidden piles of eggs outside, but that's about to end for the year. Because in a couple days we ought to have snow on the ground. And then they definitely won't be doing that anymore. But the vast majority of the time, over the last year, they have laid all their eggs inside in that nest box, which is very, very simple to clean. See how easy it is to lift the buckets out. Clay built this awesome frame that just says to hold those buckets so they sit snugly, and this nice little perch, which is a tree stick in the woods on the front, and yeah, that's that. That's how that works, and it seems like I've really enjoyed it. So we're gonna get some fresh nesting bedding in those buckets here in a second. And I don't suppose that I would need to actually sweep this barn so clean, but where it's been so dusty because it's so dry, I'm kind of wanting to get the majority of that fine dust out before I put their fresh bedding in. That'll be in here for, I'm sure, at least another year. Many thanks to Moose, whose timely suggestion involved the creation of that muck outdoor. It hasn't been open since we built it and closed it, but that was wonderful to have for cleaning this all out today. Now we just got to get them some fresh bedding. I think the chickens are trying to figure out what happened to their normal bedding in their barn. It's all plain wood floor right now. But we're about to change that. If I had access to any sort of free bedding material, I would use whatever that was. Since I don't, I went to our local feed store, bought a few of these just kiln dried for absorbency, screen, multi-screen to remove irritating dust, blah, 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 pine shavings. So that's what we're going to refill this with. Because like I said, I found I really didn't like the way straw tended to stick to everything. And I don't seem to need the drying effect of the hemp bedding. So I'm going to open up a few of these bricks. And this should be their bedding for the next year. I think these were like $6.29 a piece or something, so if we had straw or hay or anything like that, I would use it, but we don't. So this is what they get. Now it smells lovely and piney. Before it really didn't have an odor. That has been so nice the whole last year to just have it be pretty smell-free in here. None of that kind of nasty chicken house smell if you've ever been in like a commercial chicken house where there's way too many birds and not enough space and you get the kind of ammonia that'll burn your lungs. We've had none of that. None in the winter, none in the spring when everything was wet and muddy outside. None at all. We'll see if our guess was right. If you're wondering why the feeder is hung up, that keeps them from kicking so much dirt in it. It's kind of been handy. So, get these bricks to decompress here a little bit. And this is beautiful. That's butterscotch and henna. You're seeing what they think of this. If you also want to keep things smelling really nice in your coop and keep, bugs, mites, that kind of thing for wanting to set up shop, any extra herbs that you might have, we have several things that just grow prolifically here, way more than we can use, like peppermint or spearmint. This is catnip. And these are not dried, they're just fresh, but especially if you have a wetter area, you may want to have them dry before you do this. I just scatter these around the coop, and I've done this a few times through the year. This is tarragon. Whenever I have some extra bits of herb or something, it does make the coop smell really nice. I wish you could smell it in here now. It smells all like pine and herbs, and like I said, it also helps deter some of those bugs you don't really want setting up shop in your chicken coop. I know you can buy fancy little bags of dried coop or nest box herbs. When I looked at them, they were quite expensive. And this works really well since we grow a lot of these things. And the chickens will mix this all up. I could put them in the nest boxes themselves as well. But this is just another tip if you've got some extra herbs that you're not going to use for something else because you have plenty of them growing. Maybe throw some around your chicken coop. It'll smell really wonderful and has other benefits.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Come back next time for more adventures.
Thanks for watching.